and look, here's the thing, and you're not going to look, here's the thing, and you cannot progress
Mm,
through 2025 if you don't have a mindset. If
mm,
you still stuck in 2024 mindset, look, you're going to go through 2025, you're going to wonder why you're missing it, why this isn't happening, why that isn't happening. It is because you have to change your mindset. The reason why you have to change your mindset is because the men of 2025, the men that you're after, the men that you want to attract, the men that you want to be with and be about, they have come into this year with a different mentality. Men haven't walked away. If women are sitting around in March saying, "We're all the good guys," look, y'all, we we just 3 months, barely 3 months into the year. If your reality, your mentality, if what's coming out of your mouth because
mm.
you're lamenting where you're at, is that all the good men have walked away. No, they haven't. Look, they haven't. You
Mm-mm.
know what? I try to be nice and sweet, but then you turn around and you ask me something messed up. And look, I'm tough love. I've always been
Yeah.
tough love. And the older I get, I'm tough love. Look, men have not walked away. Here the tough love. I'm leaning in for it. Men haven't walked away. They're gone. Okay? And
Mm.
this is what you're gonna have to deal with. Men have not walked away. They, like Elvis, have left the building.
Oh,
They're gone. They're gone. You are looking for men, or you are expecting men to look for you. 2024 era. We in 2025. You know what the sad commentary is, nephew?
what's the next?
Men were preparing themselves in 2024 for 2025.
1000%.
Men woke up. I'm not saying that they were asleep in a bad way, but they just woke up one day and said, I'm in 2024. I'm looking around. I'm evaluating. Wow, this is where I am. This is what I'm about. This is how I've moved through 2024. This is how I have grown as a man. This is how I've added to me. This is the fact that I have cut away. You know what? When I hit 2025, I'm going to leave 2024 being the man I envision myself to be and I wanted to be. I have completed that phase of the journey and now I am ready for phase two. That's what that guy said, that attractive guy. And when I say attractive, I don't mean just he looking good. He's a cute dude. No, not that attractive. Just that whole package guy. He left 2024 and says, okay, I've done everything I wanted to do. I think I am ready for phase two. He left 2024 behind and he has moved into 2025, phase two of him. Here's the problem: women are looking for the 2024 guy because that's where she left him, not realizing that he was on a journey of himself and he arrived at the end of the journey of himself. And now he's saying, now I can't help it. Now I am fit for my wife.
Yep.
That's what he's saying. He's looking for us for 2025. He is not looking for a hookup. He ain't looking for a girlfriend. He ain't looking for a situationship. He ain't looking for a hit and miss it or on the fly. He has come into 2025 saying, I'm looking for my wife. He didn't even have one last one to ring out the new year. This guy didn't even go out.
Yeah.
That guy, when he says he's ready for 2025, Oh, he didn't ring in the new year. He went and hung out with his friends, typically married guys. But that guy did not take, unless he specifically targeted that chick as his wife. He didn't take a date with him because he left all that behind, and now he's saving all of that, all of himself for his wife. And the problem is, and it's also the challenge. You don't have to look at it as a problem. I'm saying it's a problem because a lot of women are not clued into that, but see it as a challenge. He didn't walk away. He gone. He's gone. He shut the door on that part of his life. He locked the door behind him. He took the key and threw it in the Pacific Ocean, never to be found again. He is gone from that life, which means now you're going to have to go to the place where he is to find him, if that's the caliber of man you want. And please, I'm not going down this. You got to be 6 foot tall. You got to make 7 figures. You know what? You're not serious, and I don't want to deal with your non-seriousness. Okay? You have got to stop watching reality TV. You have got to stop looking at rom-coms and thinking that's real true life. Okay, that's not real true life. Okay, you being able to go into some kind of male Burger King and have it your way after you say I want it to look like this. You know what? We're not serious, and I'm not talking to you. No, I'm serious, nephew. I'm tough loving it. I am not having wasteful conversations with women. And then we are in December and she's still crying in her tea. And she has made no move to do anything with herself to become fit for the husband. Do you really think a man is going to spend a whole year, all of 2024, getting himself together, going through whatever he has programmed for himself so he can be fit for his wife, specifically saying, I am going to get myself together and then I'm going for my wife? Do you really think he's going to go through all these challenges, all these changes, make these changes in his life just to come and get you?
Not
Just
unless
for you.
not unless she's put in the work as well. And
You better believe
specifically, it has to be the work is like a good haircut. It has to be seen. You can't just talk about it. And when I say work, what I mean, especially in male terms, this person has set up their life so that they're ready for that next level of commitment and partnership with another person. If you needed therapy, you got the therapy. If you needed a personal trainer to get your body together so you're healthy, you got the personal trainer. If you needed to cut off your problematic friends, you got rid of them people. If you have a monked up relationship with your family, then you started either deciding I can work with these people or I got boundaries in place to separate myself from these people. But whatever you needed to do to make sure the version of yourself is the best version you could realistically produce, that's what you've done. It's not the person that says, okay, I got company coming over. I got all this dirt on the floor. Okay, let me just sweep this dirt under the couch. All right. Oh, I got people coming over. The kitchen is toe up. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna wash the dishes. I'm gonna put the dishes in the garage so people can't see it. Because what happens is all that filth that's being hid just comes out later on when somebody actually lives there. And that's what it means to do the work. You've done the work in the dark, so now in the light, you're the best version of yourself you can be.
And I do not believe any guy who has gotten to this spot and he's the best version of himself is going to put up with the least version of you.
Oof.
He's not going to do that.
No, no.
Look, people, look, only your mama now, only your sister now, your girls, your best friends, your village and your tribe. They are the only ones that love you like that. That man is not going to put up with you, and he's not going to put up with that. Those days are long gone. Why? Because you know what? He's looking for a partnership. Here's the difference. He's not looking for a partner. He's looking for a partnership. He is looking for somebody who's going to work with him and he's going to work with her. He's not looking for a partnership where you guys are going to build some kind of empire together. You're going to build a family together. That's
Yeah.
what he's looking for. He's not looking for a business partner. He got that. Okay, that buddy of his, that's his business partner. That guy whose last name is after Ann, like Jones and Peterson.
Yeah.
Okay, his Peterson is his buddy. Peterson is his partner. He's not looking for that in a relationship. You don't look for those types of partners in a relationship. At least most men are.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about high six figures. I am talking about five figures. I am talking about four figures. All these good, decent men that come in whatever shape and whatever figure, in reality, they are all looking for the exact same woman.
Yep.
The same woman is one type. She might come in a different package. She could come in a different size. She can come in a different way. She can come in a different all that extraneous outside stuff. But at the end of the day, it is one packaged woman, and she's the same woman in all those different little packages. She's the same on the inside. But you want to know what? Not only is she the same in here, her capacity to love, but she's the same here. He's looking for a type, and it is the one type who has this mindset. He's not looking for any woman that does not have this mindset. The package she comes in, different packages, all across the board, but same mindset. And that is the, come on,
That is the struggle, is when
that
people
is the
think
big struggle.
because
Because because here's the biggest struggle, nephew. The thrust of it is men are looking for a type of woman that the woman don't want to be.
yeah.
Men are looking for the type of woman that women don't want to be. And
Well,
so they think they can shoehorn him into accepting her.
well,
We're gonna shoehorn it. It's like what was the Cinderella? The guy going all around the kingdom with this
yeah.
one shoe that only one foot could fit. And you got
Yep.
all these chicks. Look, all these chicks knew that wasn't their shoe.
They're
Come
gonna try
on,
to
they
force the shoe
women.
in there.
Women, come on, nephew. Women know their shoes. But there was a prince on the other end of that. So I have to say this is a fantastic analogy, if I must say so myself. So
Yeah.
you got all these chicks trying to force their feet into a shoe that only one woman could fit. You want to know what the 2024 dudes are doing?
What are they
They
doing?
walk around with that shoe.
Mm.
And you trying to squoze your foot into that shoe, or your foot so little you can't walk in the shoe because the shoe keeps coming off. You want to know why? Because only one type could fit the shoe that Prince Charming, that man, had. And he is looking for his princess to make her a queen. And guess what? You have to be able to fit the shoe. And that's the problem, because many of us women expect the guy to fit us when we have to fit the man he already is.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we're not going to be able to change that. He's not coming into a relationship with you for you to finish something that needs to be done with him. He's coming into a relationship with you for you to accept him as he is. And if that is something you can't do, guess what? He is not going to cry in his coffee. He's simply going to say, well, I guess this wasn't her shoe. And he's going to move right along.
1000%. And the problem that a lot of people have is when they say they can't find a man, it's, I always ask them, like, what is your geographical range for how far you're looking for this guy? Because I want you to understand the men of means nowadays have no geographical range. They will go wherever they need to go. They don't care because so many of us now have the entrepreneur spirit that we look at the world as our opportunity. You know, you're dealing with men nowadays that say, hey, what's the difference between me living in Colorado and me living in Japan? 14 months of learning Japanese? Okay, fine, I'll do that. 1 hour or 2 hours a day. And next thing you know, he's living a completely different life. So
Yeah.
many of the men I know, regardless of ethnicity, they are not where they grew up. They're not even close to where they grew up. They're not even close to the last place that I remember them living because there's nothing stopping them. Like one of my good friends, he's talking about selling his car dealership to go move to Egypt. He looked online and looked at his, $600,000 house, and he's like, and he's looking at what $600,000 gets him in other parts of the
And
world.
then you be surprised.
And he's looking at
You'll
a
be surprised
yeah,
little mansion you can pick up
yeah. So you're look
for that kind of money.
so he's looking and saying, hey, if I put my head down and make as much money as I can for the next 3 to 5 years, and then do some stuff online, and I can go take 600, 700, 800 grand and go move to Egypt, move to Vietnam, places that people don't think about. And I'm gonna have a palace on the water for 300, 400 grand. And then all he has to think to himself is the value of my connection strong enough to keep me in America? Well, now, it's the world of small tribes and
Mhm.
communities. And these
Mhm.
tribes and communities might not be your next door neighbors. It's going to be the people you play video games with, the people you hop on Zoom calls with. And what's a $2,000 ticket to go see your friend?
Mhm.
If you have the money, we'll make a trip out of it. We'll all go to Egypt for a week or 2 weeks. And so this is one of the biggest things that a lot of young women are no longer recognizing is it's remember that nonprofit group? I think it was Humanitarians Without Borders or something.
Doctors Without Borders.
Doctors Without Borders. Thank you. Is that's how men are starting to think. It's life without borders.
Mhm.
So I don't have to settle for an existence of where I've lived because the world is a much larger place. So you have a lot of women looking for men as if men are still are still like caught up in these borders that just no longer exist.
And that's the challenge, I believe, for women is that they have to expand their mind because you're trying to find a guy with an already expanded mind. The thing
Yeah.
is, you say, well, where have all the guys gone to? They turned around and left the room, and you were in the room with them. And that's the killer part of this. You were in the same room with the very guy you're now looking for. And all of a sudden, he been in the room the past 6.5 hours, and you didn't even notice him until he left the room. And then he stayed gone. Remember Joe? There was a time whenever, and you're here with your girls, there was a time that whenever we came to this club or this bar or this whatever, Joe would be here with maybe a couple of his friends over there. But now I see a couple of the friends. But you know what? All of a sudden, I noticed we haven't seen Joe in the past few months. Joe got up and he left the building, and you didn't even notice him until now. And he left 2024. And here we are in 2025, and something has sparked in your head about Joe. And Joe been gone. Joe's been gone for 3, 4 months now.
Hmm. And he's not
You,
coming back.
we, look, we, and when I say we, I mean women, we sleeping too long and we're waking up too late. Okay? I'm gonna repeat myself. We are sleeping too long and we're waking up too late. And I'm going to be honest with you. Some guys you can chase down. You might see Joe 2 blocks away. And if you're a good sprinter, you might make it and catch him and turn his life around, towards you and turn your own life around towards him. But I'm going to be honest with you. Some of you sisters, these guys have left the room. You're not going to be able to catch him now.
And
Because,
then
and you want to know why? Because he went walking down the street and another sister was standing over there. And when I say sister, I just mean female. I'm talking about the sisterhood. Another sister was standing there and she caught his eye.
yeah.
And she was already ready for him.
Hmm.
She was not going to have to argue him into being in a relationship with him. Come look, if this guy got to win you over, you're not for him and he's not for you. Okay? Compatible people don't have to talk each other into being with each other. If you're compatible, you don't have to talk her into being with you, and he doesn't have to talk you into being with him. Come on. A lot of us women have had those moments. High school, college, after college, younger in your years, where you have looked at a guy and it is like explosions went off. You looked at a guy. That relationship, let's say that maybe formed after that, and let's say it didn't even last. It could have been just that young love. But did you have to talk him into being with you?
Hmm.
Did he have to talk you into being with him? That type of mindset with love doesn't go away. It matures,
Yeah.
but it doesn't go away. People who are compatible with each other doesn't have to talk each other into being with each other.
That's a really
And
good point.
and people who are compatible don't have all this work they got to do for he's got to do all this work to be with you and you've got to do all this work to be with him. No, that's incompatibility. Come on. Look,
Yep.
this 2025, we got to hit the nail on the head because you know what, sister girls, you are wasting too much time and too much time of your life trying to shoehorn a relationship where one isn't. It kills me. I'm dealing with women like this, and I almost have to bite my entire tongue off because you know what? I don't want to insult everybody and not have any friends, but I don't have the tolerance for this. I don't look. It's mind boggling. Look, why are you trying to force a boyfriend girlfriend relationship? Let's call it that. Why are you trying to force it? Look, you know what? I'm not even saying dating because someone's going to have to explain that to me satisfactorily. So I'm going to call it courting. You know what courting is? You want to know what the purpose behind courting, the end result is to find your husband. That's the end result of courting. But
Yep.
you want to know what the purpose of courting is? And I'm going to lean in for this. Come on. Is to determine if two people are compatible.
Yep. That's it.
That's the purpose of courting. The destination is marriage, but the purpose is to determine if two people are compatible. If you and the guy sitting across the table, if it seems like you're not compatible, why are you trying to force a relationship with a person that's not made to be compatible with you? Don't you realize that you're going to have nothing but hell in this relationship until that relationship is over with or until you self-sacrifice so much that you'll never get out of it? God forbid you have kids. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feeling. I'm just saying, think about this thing properly. Think about it right. Don't date. You look, date when you're just young and having fun. But when you are serious and when you want to find the man for you because you're the woman for him, it is time to stop dating and to start courting. And that is where you are extremely, not even very, but extremely discriminatory about the man who's sitting across the table from you.
Yep.
You should be able to sit across the table in at least 2 to 3 engagements, and that's you can call them dates if you will, but in at least 2 to 3 engagements, you know if this is a fit. You know if what? If we are compatible. That should be everybody who wants to find a man with the intent of being married, that should be your word for the year. Compatibility. Compatibility. That's what you're looking for. But you know why? Looking for compatibility is hard because you have to stare at him, you have to look at him, and please look beyond. He's fine, he's cute, he's tall, how much money you make, where you work, where you vacation? Where did you vacation the last 3 vacations? Please. What kind of question is that?
I
Do
mean,
you like animals? What's your relationship with your family? Do you have a village? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Come on, the truth is the light, people. Let me tell you something. You know, you want to know what the telltale signs, the plus, the telltale flags. If you want to get a quick idea, you look at that person's village.
yep.
You look at the village and you're going to get a red flag or you're going to get a green flag. And let me tell you something, sisters. That's what men are looking at. They're looking at your village. And you might say, well, what do you mean? This guy didn't know me. Really? He doesn't know my parents and my sister. No, he's looking at those chicks you hanging out with. That's your village. And he's sitting over there looking at that village. And he is making a determination about you, judging you, if you will, by virtue of that village that you're with. Because guess what? You are your village.
The people you spend time with, the things you read, the ideologies you buy into, the things you stand for, the things you don't stand for, that makes up the real personality of the individual.
It most certainly does.
And personality is what's in, personality. We can use different words. We can use that. We could say character. We can say ethics. That's going to be what's going to keep two people out of the divorce court.
That most assuredly is because if and let me help you, and I think I can go there because I was married in 1984. So y'all do the math. It's 40 some odd years. Do you really think love kept me and my husband together? Absolutely, it did not. It didn't. Love does not keep a marriage to get together. It is the commitment to love that keeps that relationship together. It is the commitment that, regardless of how mad you make me, I still love you. Regardless of whatever we go through, we had the tragedy of losing our only child. Regardless of whatever happens to us, I'm going to choose to love you. I'm going to choose, I'm going to choose, I'm going to choose. That loving somebody doesn't keep you with that person. It is your commitment to love that person come what may. That is the sustaining power. And I'm going to be honest with you. And you know what? We'll have to find some old married people and take a poll. But there are times when you don't love that person. And I don't mean because he took the last donut out the cart and made you mad. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there are periods, there can be periods, and in a lot of cases, there are periods of a marriage where you don't love your spouse
Hmm.
and your spouse don't love you.
And
But
that's
you
okay.
are committed to the relationship. You're not committed to the love. You committed to the relationship. That's what you're committed to. And then you work on the love. If the embers have waned, if the fire has gone out, if the heat is no longer there, then the thing is, you don't say, well, I don't love you. Let me go on and cheat with somebody I've met. Let me divorce you and get rid of. Absolutely not. You know, and I'm not talking about abusive relationships. Come on, people. I'm talking about just regular folk.
Well, it's one of those things that so many people, their dedication relies on whether the relationship is fulfilling their needs in that moment, in that week, in that year. And it's not a dedication to the idea of what we're doing this for together for. And it's no different than, a lot of friendships. Are we only friends when I give you what you want? But the minute I tell you no, now you have connected the no with the morality of no. And saying, if this person truly loved me, they will give me exactly what I want. Because this thought process is indistinguishable from a child, from a 7 or 8 or 9 year old that's mad at their parents because the parent won't buy them 3 Snickers bars. It's childish, and what has happened so often is that we are being programmed through society that our needs, no matter what they are what should be driving the car. And anybody doesn't give us our immediate needs are a problem. We've turned our lives into Amazon delivery services, and then we're wondering why it hasn't worked out, and we don't have quality connections.